Good morning, Rabbi Sai. L'ili nishmasi mimirosi ruspas Mordechai. Hi, Rebelli. My name is Eli Bernstein from Cape Town, South Africa. I'm 14 years old. I've been doing the daf with you for quite a while. I love your sense of humor and would really love to meet you in person. Please come to Cape Town. Thank you for teaching me. I've attached a photo my grandfather took of me doing the daf while cutting out something on the scroll saw. A real wood workshop there. I used to do a lot of woodworking and I'm very impressed over there. Okay. I don't know if you remember me, but I came to you for Shabbos meal. Reb Nachman Seltzer was there too. This is 8 years ago, Nachman. You remember this guy? Yeah. You do? Nachman remembers you, Tzaddik. When you had just moved to Bet Shemesh, you invited to come over Shabbos. I remember my favorite line you said by the meal is, you know why I love Israel better than America? Because the Ruchnis is better and the Gashmias is better. Fast forwarding 6 years, I think it's more like 8 years, I'm back in America working at B&H and found your shir. So happy I joined. At first I thought it was much of a commitment to take Daf Yomi, but you made it approachable, incredibly engaging, enjoying the shir. Thanks for all the effort. Looking forward to coming back to Israel to join the shir live in person. All the best. Shmuel David Bound. The picture is me working, donating some Gemaras during my break. I don't know what that means, but it's geschmack to do daf. David Kramer, my son is friendly with the cousin of Rav Shlomo Zalman. See our text conversation below. If I recall, this cousin went to Tel Aviv University, and the day before he was supposed to come back to America, he called for the first time Rav Mordechai Auerbach, who was Rashiv in Tel Aviv. He said, hi Mordechai, just wanted to say hi, I'm your cousin from America. Rav Mordechai invited him over, and now he's raising a frum family in Israel. And it says over here in the text, and this is what my Chavrusa, my Rebbe, told me, that he believes that Lzchus, the people in America, this is going back to the story with the Kramer, with the Auerbachs in America, they sent Reb Shlomo Zalman, they used to support him. And over here it says in the text that they sent him a refrigerator back in the day. You can imagine what that was. And it was an enormous luxury in those days, and he believes that was the Lzchus, that he was able to be chayzer b'tshuva. Dear Belly, since 6 months ago, I'm avid MDY enthusiast. Good luck pronouncing that. Enthusiast. Of course, the daily kfiyas and Torah are the main dish, but the appetizer, banter, camaraderie, and emails are definitely a big part of the feast. That being said, I have an interesting request. When I first started listening to your shir, no 2 weeks would pass without you reading a Eli Doppelt special. What it's about the dopamine war, his football play of missed Yom Tovim Dapim, his lavish scenes in Essen Delicatessen, I always felt like we were being mekayim the sheet of having a true thought-provoking milsa de b'dichusa to enhance that day's learning. The last few months has been a Eli Doppelt silence on the MDY airways. Many of my friends who watch a daf also share my view. I know he's still learning with us every day, and we'll hear that. Maybe he wrote this himself, who knows? Is there a way that we could get still a dose of Eli, of the Doppelt, at least once a month? Shammai Goldberg. I actually met him, Eli, and I said, no, he said he's still doing the daf, and he's going to write an email. Be'ez Hashem, it's coming soon, right, Eli? I just received a volume 3 cases. What? It's just in just a few days, 2-3 days. Volume 3 of Archville starting. Bring your friends. We're not even pushing it because we barely have any Gemaras, Baruch Hashem. We only printed a small amount. The ones in Eretz Yisrael, they're coming. They came. On the way. Okay. Meches. Rafal immediately opened. He gave a box. Yochanan Itzkwitz brings over a box to Rafal the barber. He immediately pounces on this guy in the chair, Nebuch, doesn't know what's hitting him. He has the razor to his head, and the guy's threatening his life with the knife. I'm just adding this. And he gives him a Gemara, and the guy says, okay, roitzani. Open the box, gave him a guy in the chair, convinced him to sign up for the daf. The poor guy didn't even get a chance to finish his haircut and was given a Gemara, Yochanan Itzkwitz. The sponsor for the koilel this month, I don't know who it is. There's somebody in line to do it, but I don't recall who, so whoever you are, let me know if you're still interested. The parnasah chodesh. L'ili nishmas Rav Zechariah Shimon HaKohen Wowlerstein zechus bracha by his kids. Ahron Fraiman Lzchus continue parnasah siyadta dishmaya and hatzlacha to rebelli. The Boyer family L'ili nishmas Rav Eli zechus bracha ben Rav Avram. Before I forget to say, Rabbi Sai, they're doing a tremendous thing here in Ramat Bet Shemesh. They're trying to finish Shas in one day. It's info at yoimhashas.org.il. And the Chevra from MDY are taking on Mesechtes Yevamos. at least trying. Take a daf, 2 daf, and money raised, I think it's like $1,000 per person. You have to raise $1,000 and do a daf or something like that. Okay, you can pick and choose what you want, and all the money that comes in goes to MDY. Is that what I'm supposed to say? What else? Shol Meir said it's Beseder. Benny Friedman is going to be at the Siyum, and they might be a live Daf Yomi, and there's going to be a great speaker, a guest great speaker from the MDY Chaver speaking there live. So check it out. If you want to be part of this and do some Chazar and Yevamos and be part of this great maimed of finishing shots all in one day. Money goes to MDY from our Chabura. Our Chabura that raised money goes to MDY. And the point, the reason why Rabbi Yisrael Meir Simon, who's part of our shir, started this whole thing is to bring awareness to the Maizdas in RBS and to get people to learn more Torah. It's an unbelievable thing. Shkoich Rabbi Yisrael Meir, he's also in charge of the Kupa Shel Tzedakah. He does a lot of chesed in the neighborhood. He has nothing,
If you want to set up a link for a page, we'll send you a link and you can set up your own page.
If you want to do your own page, we'll send you a link, we'll set you up, we'll hook you up. So somebody, be in touch with somebody. The Wolkenstein family says, by the Lock and Lebovic family is Lakewood, New Jersey, because Torah is the best gula. Lili Nishmas, Chaya Bas Yosef, renewed. Wow. They're doing another month. My favorite is back. Shkoyach. Shama should have an aliyah. As HaKaras HaTov to Hashem, as a zechus for continuing health and bracha. Today is the 40th day in the Omer, and we are holding Daf Ayin Test. Rabbi said, don't forget, the Motzi Shab is Parshas Ba'amidbar. Wow, it's on the screen already. Shir is going to be in Yerushalayim. Don't be shy. Just like the Yerushalmis come here every day, there's at least 1 or 2 guys from Yerushalayim and Shir. You guys can come out to Yerushalayim. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anybody. And we'll see you there at the regular time, 10 o'clock, Motzei Shabbos, at Yeshivas Nesivas Ahron. That's my brother-in-law's yeshiva, which happens to be on Chotzer Strauss, a very, very famous piece of land in Yerushalayim, where many G'dolei Hadar were born and brought up. He bought that piece of property, and he has a yeshiva there. Elo Amarava. That's where we're holding. It's like the first wide line. The question is as follows. How is a Yevamo, who the Yavam is a Sris Chama, a Sris Adam, and a Sris Adam cannot marry anyone, can't marry the Yevama. So there shouldn't be any connection according to Rebbe Kiva, because according to Rebbe Kiva, when we're talking about Chayvi Lavim that create Mamzeros, so then the Zika there shouldn't be any Zika. No Zika. According to everybody else, there is Zika. It's only a Lav. A Mamzer is from Chayvi Krisens. But according to Rebbe Kiva, that says that a Chayvi Lavim creates Mamzeros, so now she is usher to him with a Lav. Loyava Ibtzudaka Kushav B'Kal Hashem. So that should cut any connection between them, and she shouldn't even be required to have chalitza. So what was the answer we said yesterday? We're talking about a gyoris. But then we brought a whole brisa written by Rebbe Kiva himself that says kahal. We're not talking about a gyoris. We're talking about somebody that was born FFB. Not FFB, but Jewish from birth. JFB. Such a thing? Okay. Great teretz. They got married legally. It was a regular shidduch. Everything was good until he got into a car accident. And Mamela, that moment. So now the Yavam, forget the marriage. He fell liyibum when he was a regular person. Before he had a chance to be miyabem, accident. So yibum is aser because now he's illegal to get married to her, but requires a chalitza. They still have a connection. They had a connection when he fell liyibum, when she fell liyibum. There's a lav and an assay. Miloitnan, and the lav should push it off. Miloitnan, so we have to go back to this case. And we have as follows. It's been a while since we had these cases. Maybe I'll take this off. It's not working. Shkoyach. So we have as follows. It's kind of small today. You have Reuven and Shimon married to two sisters. The reason why they don't look like sisters today, but they are, is because one of them is a ketana. The one married to Shimon is a ketana. But the sisters, believe me, the sisters. When Reuven goes bye-bye, does the sister fall yibum to Shimon? Two sisters cannot be married to one man. But because Shimon's wife is a ketana, she's a Yisayma who was married off only midrabanan by her mother. So now we have a dilemma. We have a deraisa yibum waiting to occur, but it can't happen because Shimon's already married to the sisters. He's not allowed to be married to two sisters, but he's not really married to her. He's only the Rabbana married. So if she's mima'in, she tells him, I don't want to be married to you. So then we figure out that retroactively she was never married to him, and now he can be miyabim, Reuven's wife. Says the Gemara, but according to Reb Gamliel, we don't tell her to do so. We don't train her to do that. Vimlav, and if she doesn't want to, and he doesn't want to, he likes the younger one, he wants to be married to her, and he doesn't want to be chayletz, the older one. Why? Because if then she'd turn his own young wife will turn into a chayz chalutza. So what do? Tamdinat shetagdil. You wait until she gets older. Now she can legally midaraisa get married to him. V'teitzi halizum shema. Then the Yevama is gonna be bumped out of there. So what happens? You have an iser of a chaysisha, which is going to get rid of the yibum, the Yevama. Alma, you see, also iser a chaysisha v'dachi. The iser of a chaysisha pushes off the mitzvah of yibum. By the way, Shalom Aleichem. I forgot to say Shalom Aleichem to my guest. What's your name? Yankel, don't worry, you're on video. He got you. Your mama's over here. You don't have to. That's the whole mile of sitting next to him. You don't have to get up. From where? From Flatbush? Lakewood. We're on a streak. No? It's like the seventh guy from Lakewood in the last 2 weeks. Unbelievable. Givaldi Ganki. Shkoyach for joining. You tried out that competition in Lakewood? Why not? It's good. Different style. Says the Gemara, so by us also, the Isser of Petzua Daka, just like the Isser of Achais Isha, should be strong enough and push off the Yibum, and she shouldn't even require Chalitza, Elam Rav Yosef, Haytanach, Tana, the Bei Rebbe Kiva. I have another pshat. We started off saying, we're talking about a Giyaris. Now we're saying, no, he was mutter to her for a moment, and then he turned into a problem, became a saris. And now we're saying, the Omar Mechayvi Lavim Desher have a mamzer. So if you look over here, I'll remind you from Daf Mem Tes, we had, what is a mamzer? It's not so geschmack on this. We got to figure something else out, Gershon. It's very, very small. I can't even read it from here. What? Very small. Because we went to the up and down the landscape. We got to go back, I think.
There's a lot of extra space on that page.
Yeah? How? This is what I get. He's saying I can make it wide. Okay, we'll talk about it afterwards. What?
Anyone else have anything?
I know, but we're going this way. The lines are this way. I can't go that way. Fine. So,
I think it's Israel.
he says it's machlekes. We have three shitas in Rebbe Kiva. What Rebbe Kiva said, as you cannot see on the screen right now. Why is it blank? Huh? Gary didn't like this whole thing. Okay. He went back to Zoom. So, Rebbe Kiva says in the Mishnah, according to the Mishnah, that the only way to make a mamzer is through a lav of arayis, of kurva. According to Rabbi Simon and Rebbe Kiva, every single lav in the world, and that would also include our lav of saris. And according to Rabbi Sheva, even in asay, forget about a lav, even in asay. Says the Gemara. So what happened is, according to Rebbe Kiva, we're going to go that the only way to make a mamzer is a lav of kurva, the first one, the one in the Mishnah, as you can see in those unbelievable big letters. The lav in the top, believe me, is a top green. And Memela what? So, what was your question? You have Isser Lav creates a mamzer. Not our case. Our case is not a kurva. The guy has a medical condition. He's not allowed to get married. That's not because of relations. It's not because it's his mother, it's his daughter. That's different. That's arayis. We're talking about a different Isser why you can't get married. That doesn't create a mamzer. Just a lav, like Bayos, they have a mamzer. Says the Gemara, but nevertheless, according to Rebbe Kiva, what's Rebbe Kiva's svar? He had a shasa koisher, Rebbe Kiva says. There was a moment in time where this saris was able to have children. Later on in life, he became a saris. So that's why he's chayiv chalitza. Ask the Gemara, but at the end of the day, ikri kan lahakim shem lachiv, lahakim lachiv shem. At this moment, I don't care what his shasa koisher was. Right now, how could this guy perform yibum? He's not a bar hachi. He's not in the parsha. He's not going to be making shem lachiv. V'la bar hachi. Omerava imkein elcha isha sheksher liyavam. Says Rava, we don't look at the last moment. We don't look all the way at the end. Because if we do, there won't be a hechatimtza. Every single person in the world, right before he dies, one moment before he dies, he's too weak to have children. So you can see, so every single person, according to your svara, is not in the parsha of lahakim shem lachiv. What don't you like about it?
One is a future act, and one is a current. Now you're saying, what will happen? I'm looking at the current situation. You want to make the jump.
No.
I can look at the future.
Time out. We're talking about a yavam, and the Gemara is asking about the guy that died. The guy that died also can't have children. He's Yimach Shmoy B'Yisrael. What happened? The guy that died, he didn't have children. But guess what? He wasn't able to have children. When? For a millisecond right before he died. When the car hit him, right before he sees neshama, that moment, if he was asked to have children, he wouldn't be able to have children. So he's not in the parsha of having children, so you don't have to be his wife. Well, the teretz is, we don't care about that one, as long as he had a shasa kosher. Says Gemara. Says Gemara. Now, this exact svar is going to be a problem to Rebbe Eliezer in the Mishnah. Rebbe Eliezer in the Mishnah says the Saris Sodom doesn't have refuah, even though he had a shasa kosher. Says Rebbe Eliezer, Piruga the Rav Pirchi is going to be a big hash in Rebbe Eliezer. What about the last second? Hasem Chishusa that Chilebe, says the Gemara, no. He doesn't like Rav's pshat at all. Because a guy that's in a car accident and can't have children is not because he's a saris. It's not he just happens to be weak. It's a different category. Yes, he can't have children. A guy that's sleeping maybe can't have, I don't know what. It's not because of a sar, it's not a lack of his ability. Yeah, I'm throwing it out as something to, as a marshal. Says Gemara, in our Mishnah, what are we talking about exactly? We're going to go and explain all the details today. What a saris is, not a saris, but in our Mishnah, what is a saris cham? What are we referring to? Omer Rav Yitzchak bar Yosef, Omer Menachem, Omer Rabbi Yochanan, Kol sheloi ra shah achas bikashrusay. A saris cham is somebody that was born like this, never had a shasa kosher. Daf pei. What's going on here? In bigvura yishmonim shana. To get all the way to Daf Pei, you're Gibor. A lot of people made it, Baruch Hashem. Thousands made it Daf Pei. We're going to be talking about Bigvur Ishmanim, Shivim Shana. That has to do with today's Daf. Mino Yadinon. How do we know if he's a Sris Chama or Marbaya? I just want to be magdim here. This is one of these Dafim. Maybe it might have a record for me. A lot of terms or ideas that I personally can't explain, and I don't know how to explain them. But things that occurred and happened in the time of the Gemara. That's how it was in those days. I don't know how to explain it though. Omar Abaya, if when he goes to the bathroom, it's not forceful, doesn't make an arch, that's a raya, that he's a saris. And what is it caused by? The Afya Ime B'tiara Rashi says she didn't just bake, she baked bread. It's some sort of too much heat. The temperature of her body went up, and basically baked up this kid. The afya ime, or maybe that's what Rashi's going to say. She baked the bread and not the kid. Okay, I thought it meant a combination of the outer source. B'tiara, at noon, there's a lot of sun, a lot of heat. V'shasya shichra, look at this, Rabbi Isai. She drank a little beer while she was pregnant. Marco, Rashi says, a very strong one.
She was baking.
I made that thing myself.
Couldn't tell. Good job.
Not the top one, the bottom one. Omer Rav Yosef. Rashi says one of them is muzug, means that it was diluted beer. Don't ever drink. If you're going to drink beer, drink the right amount. Don't start diluting it and say, oh, I'm pregnant, I should add a little water. That ruins it. That's a terrible no-no, says Rashi. Omer Rav Yosef. This is what I heard from Rabami. I didn't understand what he was talking about. I didn't know how. One pshat in Rashi is how. Now I understand how. Says Gemara, we're talking about somebody that has a shasa kosher. According to Rabbi Kiva, if you have a shasa kosher, what happens? Chalitza, right? If this person wasn't born like that, he had a moment, he had a month in his life where he was able to have children later, it requires chalitza. How do you know that this kid, who told you that he didn't have a shasa kosher? He's 50 years old. Maybe he was born, when he went to the bathroom, there was less of an arch. When he died, less of an arch. But somewhere in the middle, he had a shasa kosher. Who told you? Says Gemara, no, all you need is a beginning and end, and now we know what the middle is. Says the Gemara, but that's not so gishmak. Why? Because Masav Rav Mari, you have a b'chor. What did I say? Shmainim Yom Givaldik. Thank you. Daf Pei Givaldik. It's not really. It's Shmainim. It's actually Daf Ayin Tes, but yeah, Shmainim Yom Givaldik. Yeah, you're right. That would be a Givaldik Asimin. You hear Leiby in the Koilel? It's already. You said you Muhammad Leiby in Koilel. Yeah, okay. They because they look for Simonim. So what happened is you have a b'char. You have a firstborn animal. Oh, I recognize you, the guy with the yellow hat, the man Sharm is here. Shalom, get over here. You just opened the door? I didn't even see the hat. Get over here. Explain to you what's going on here. What? What's his name? Yaakov Van. Shalom Aleichem.
You saw the hat before. I sent you so many.
I know, I did. I was pretending. I was like, what is this? Shalom Aleichem. How you doing, man?
All right.
Nice to meet you.
People in Yerushalayim knew how to bust the Beit Shemesh was on time.
Wow, all the way from Yerushalayim. So are you going to be around Motzei Shabbos?
Yes.
In Yerushalayim. Yerushalayim this year is the Motzei Shabbos. In the Sivasara. We'll talk later. So where do you get that merch? There's a place that's up. Okay, because we have an official merch side and this, and people are making all this money on the side from the yellow hats. You know what I'm saying? The black market merch. The knockoffs. They're going to start saying stuff, you know what I mean? Just don't, do me a favor, whatever you do, don't put it on the tank top thing. Okay, Miami, that's right. Listen, if you live in Miami, you can wear that merch. Anywhere else, please, Rabbi Isai. Okay, so anyways, you're b'char. You have a b'char animal. B'char. It's unbelievable. No, I'm not joking. I was standing by the elevator. I said, Rabbi Shalom, I need some entertainment, something today. I don't have much. Because Rabbi said, I'm done. I don't know, I got here, a helicopter brought him here from the tefillah, from the elevator to here. Unbelievable. So we have a b'char. You give your firstborn animal every time. You give it to the kahn. He takes it to the Beis Hamikdash, etc. Puts it on the carbon, gets a part of it. But if, and this is the whole Gemara in B'charis, you know it makes sense. If you're a kahn, you have an animal, you take a hammer, you whack it over the head. Oh, it's a balmum. Now it's a balmum. I get the whole thing. I get to eat it. Okay, so the Gemara discusses that. That's why kohanim have. Okay. He looks in the animal's eye, he sees a couple of dots, tears, dots. We're talking about the dots. He sees white dots. So you check it. You check it one time in the beginning, you check it after 80 days. According to our Gemara, that should be enough. It's not enough. You got to check in the middle. Day 40. But according to our Gemara, you don't need day 40. All you need is in beginning and end. Says the Gemara, if it's just the eyes, maybe it came, maybe it went, I need to make sure it's throughout all 80 days to be a real mum. The Kule Gufa and Rabbi side, this is a big side. Right here we learn a tremendous thing, which explains a bunch of things on this daf and the sugi in general. Saris, what does the Gemara call him? Think for a second what the Gemara calls him here. Likule Gufa, his entire body. You would think it's one area of his body. No. A saris, it's a condition in his entire body. It's something different about this guy from head to toe. Every part, his toes are different. Not really, but everything about him, including the way he goes to the bathroom, including the color and the foam and all the different things that the Gemara is going to say later. It explains a lot why the Gemara says these things. So, the entire body, if you see it in the beginning, you see at the end, he most likely didn't have a recovery during his lifetime. Rebbe Lezer says this Rizchama does chalitza. Why? Because he has a refuah. V'reminu ben esrim shana v'leivi shtei sayros yaviu rayishu ben esrim vu hasaris. If a yavam is 20 years old and he didn't have simanim of a gadol, yaviu rayishu ben esrim, prove that he's 20 years old. You bring some sort of document, some sort of edim, vu hasaris, and Rabbi said, what does vu hasaris mean? He has simanim that he is a saris, other simanim. Loi choylet v'loi miyabem. So, Rebbe Lezer says, this Rizchama does chalitza. Over here it says, he doesn't do chalitza. Now, it's very interesting. If all of a sudden he brings Cyrus when he's, let's say, 25 years old. So you have to see Rashi here. Rashi says an unbelievable thing. Diloi nolu simoni saris. Amrin on Rashi d'Ramask of Vuas saris. Koloi marvenolu simoni saris. V'achim v'arish v'nida. Diloi nolu simoni saris. Amrin hay diloi ma'isi mishum katnesu. If he doesn't bring simanim, he's a katan. Umachzekirin leike katan ad roiv shnoisav, says Rashi. A beautiful thing. Until a person is 36 years old, he's immature. After that, he's no longer immature. Fine. That's if just he doesn't have Cyrus.
Make her wait.
What?
Make her wait.
Yeah, why not? Like anything, and if there's a child that's a month old, she has to wait also. The Yevama is 20 years old, she doesn't have simanim, and she has simanim of violinist. She's not in the parasha, there's no chalitza, there's no yibum. Both, boy and girl, 18 years old, not 20. Rebbe Eliezer, and this is the problem for us. Rebbe Eliezer that a zachar is 20. But Rebbe Eliezer says that a srischama is choylet. And over here, he's saying, Mefurish, Rebbe Eliezer says, a srischama is not choylet. What's going on? And why does Rebbe Eliezer say there's a difference between a zachar and a keva? A woman becomes more mature before a man. We were sitting at the Shabbos day on my house a bunch of times. Fighting. I'm fighting with my sisters. I have 4 sisters. You're so dumb. Girls are so dumb. Boys are so dumb. And one of my sisters said, we become more mature before boys. We're 12 and you're 13. So you see, it's a raya that we're more mature. So what do? You don't have sisters, so you don't know the answer. Oh, the answer is gewaldig. No. I said, it only shows that you stopped developing. That was it. You stopped developing at 12. We have another year of development. Fakert, adarabah. Like, that makes no sense. You're so stupid. Okay. Rebbe Lezer Oimer. No, it's a siman of end of the brain stopped. I was trying to explain to them, but whatever, didn't go in. They weren't makabel. They didn't have that extra. If they got that extra year, they would have chapped. Yeah. Okay, so we have mamish contradiction in Rebbe Eliezer. He took it back. But which one? Our Mishnah or that Mishnah? Ibailu. Rebbe Eliezer is going to say a saris is chaylet, like our Mishnah over here. He gives an explanation. So either we see that that's why it was chayzer, or it's 2 against 1, and 2 against 1 wins. Our Mishnah has another riot to it, and Mela, Rebbe Eliezer is of the opinion that a sris chama it does do chalitza. That we're talking about that. No, a sris chama, of course, like our Mishnah, Rebbe Eliezer holds he's chayotz. But Rebbe Eliezer says that he's considered a katan until what age? Don't we punish him? No mal. He's a katan. He doesn't have the maturity level until he's 20 years old. And if it's a girl, until 18. He's only talking about onchim, he's not talking about chalitza. Itman. Ochal chaylev meben 12 v'yom echad. So let me ask you, who becomes a gadol when they're 12 years old? My sister. A girl. So it's incredible, but the word ochal is supposed to say ochla. Everything here is changed, says Rashi. It's just a way to talk. Maybe it's a lashon nekiah. I don't know. We're not even talking about anything. Whatever the reason is, we're talking about a girl, not a boy. Same thing applies to a boy. Just say 13. Again, we're talking about a girl. It's till 18, not 20. Vinol du boy, ba, simani saris, not saris, islandess. It's just incredible. So, it's an unbelievable question here. We established that this individual, this girl, is an islandess. Islandess, finished. And then she develops simanim. When did this individual become a gdoila? At what point? Do we say, you know what? The sires that she has, that for sure is 0. That nobody's going to argue on. She's already established islandess. Whatever she has later doesn't mean anything. Simanim mean nothing. So at what point did she become a gdoila? Now that we know that she's an islandess and that the typical siman that a gdoila has when she's 12 doesn't exist by her, so was she mature at 12 or did she become mature at 20? Because maturity and islandess have nothing to do with each other. She has a physical condition. What does that have to do with her maturity level? And you can't tell that she's a gdoila because simanim mean nothing by her. She didn't have simanim. But she ate a piece of chaylev. And she knew she was eating a piece of chaylev. They warned her, if you eat this piece of chaylev, you're going to get malchus, you're going to get whatever you get. And she didn't listen, or she didn't know that she have to bring a carbon today. She was a gdoila. Or not. Maybe she becomes a gdoila when she's 20. Very interesting question. She becomes a gdoila retroactively when she's 12. Yeah, we're talking about an islandess here. I'm telling you, the whole... Call him a katan, doesn't matter. 12. So it happened when he was 13. The same sugya in a boy, but we're talking about a girl, says Rashi. No, only later on does she become a mature person when she's 18. Yosef, Lerav, islandess, check this out. Islandess, not this, but this. Aktana is from 0 to 12. From 12 to 12 and a half, she's called a naira. And from 12 and a half on, she's a begeres. Says the pasuk, V'nosana isha shoychevim alavi hanara chavishim kesef. A violated woman, girl, gets 50 kesef. The father. But it has to be naira. So now, according, Reb Meir holds that it's only in that half a year period that she gets the knas. A ktana doesn't get a knas. A begeres doesn't get a knas. Chacham mucholok, they say even a ktana can get. But according to Reb Meir, that's only in that 6 months. Oh, we have merkava. Givaldic, or we're trying to. That'll be a Givaldic addition. We used to have it. You see, Avi, how it's going? You're doing it, he's doing it. Avi Gargir Bezer Hashem is going to follow the Shir in the Gemara. So there's going to be a Gemara page somewhere. That's why we're going. If you're asking why this is narrow, that's the real reason. It'll be a big help, especially if you're the kid on the scroll saw. He'll be scrolling his thing and he'll have the Gemara. And it's hard to hold a Gemara and do scroll saw endless and. Okay. Anyway, what?
Watch the screen and use the saw. That's
Yeah.
good advice.
The screen was there. I'm just saying you can have a Gemara also. Fine. No, there's people driving, the guy in the tractor, you remember the guy in the Tesla, all these things. Fine. So here the Shaila, according to her mayor, if we're going retroactive, we find out that she's an islandess, and the reason why she didn't have Siman is because she's an islandess. And then you go back and give the father 50 kesef. Says the Gemara, beautiful. No, she doesn't get the Naira period. She goes from Ktana, she jumps straight into Bagros immediately. So the Gemara, I love what you just said. That's a Gewaldige Chiddush. I'm so impressed. Halavai, all these things that you say over like this, these beautiful bam pshatim, say it in my name. The Sanya in Asaris Nidon Ben Sayru Mayra. Asaris Ben Sayru Mayra is a certain age. So therefore, since you need simanim or a lot of simanim, Asaris cannot be a Ben Sayru Mayra. Venalis Nidon can Nair Marasa. A Nair Marasa also gets a different type of einish. The Ishasish of Nair Marasa is skila and not chenek. So Mela. So you see in the Braisa, it says, Mefurish, there's an idea that a Saris and an islandess, they jump from Katnos, or she jumps from Ktana to Begeres without the in-between green 6 months of Nairus. So let's read it slowly. The Simonim of Saris, islandess, and all of a sudden it says Uben Shmoina. Again, in the time of the Gemara, there was something. And the Rishonim discuss it. It says Nishtanu Atvayim already at the time of the Rishonim, it was not understood or not. They didn't know what this is. But in the time of the Gemara, if a kid was born in the 8th month, it couldn't survive. Impossible to survive. To the point we're going to see one of the most incredible things. And this is also incredible, according to Rashi. You wait until the kid is 20 years old. He's 18 years old. He's on a football team. Whatever. No, he's not going to survive. You have to wait until he's 20 to make sure that he's actually born in a normal, in either 7 or 9 months. When Shmoina Mikachai, but how can he make it all the way to 20? He can't live at all. Vatanya, Ben Shmoina Areu Ke'even. If a baby is born in the 8th month, he has a halacha of a muksa stone. It's hard to comprehend. I said this is one of the things I'm not going to even attempt. It's also to be metalda because he has a halacha of a mace. He's not going to survive the day. He's done. But what about the mother? She could bend over him without touching him and nurse him. This is also very hard to understand. The mother could die from too much milk. We just turned to Amud Beis, sponsored by Moshe Horn in honor of the Gold Star Moti Donut, sponsored anonymously in honor of Eli for the countless lives exchange. Yishkoyach. I would prefer to say this whole daf is Kabbalah, including the Zachar, Nekeva, called all the Zachar. I don't understand this daf. By the way, again, to throw it out there, nowadays, women who pump on Shabbos and they put it away in a refrigerator for Sunday, that could be Issa Deraisa. Because taking milk out on Shabbos is dush. So what they have to do is, everybody knows, I'm just saying it, I'm throwing it out there, they have to waste it. Then there's no Issa. But if you keep it, it's a dush. We have this kid that was born in the 8th month, who has simanim of a kid. The Sanya is ben Shmoina, kol shali kol chadashav. He didn't have a full 9-month term. Rabbi Omer, simanim archichim alav. Sa'aroi v'tziparnov, he has hair, he has nails. Shlei gamru. Time elei gamru, hagamru. But if he has full nails, full hair, amrin and haybar shivahu v'shta'uye hu dishtai. So, the Rebbe is of the opinion that there's something called ishtuy, that it's possible for a baby to remain in the mother for extra months, up to 3 months more than necessary. See? Memela over here, we don't know, so we have to wait until he's 20 years old to make sure that it's ishtuy, that it's really a 7-month baby who's hanging around extra month. Crazy situation. Think about this. A woman gets married. Everybody knows everybody's chasana in January. The husband says, listen, I have to go to yeshiva. He leaves January 2nd. He goes, gets on a plane. A year later, Shalom Aleichem, she has a baby. What is everybody thinking? It's impossible. We know the husband is in Eretz Yisrael learning yeshiva. How's the baby? No, says Rava Toisva, Uvda Be'isha Shalach Bailan Medinas Hayom, and we say that the pregnancy lasted for 12 months. So I said, whoa, this sugi is getting everything, every line is something I can't understand. I go online, check this out. The person most widely accepted to hold this title is Bula Hunter, who in 1945, at the age of 25, gave birth after 375 days of being pregnant. Yes, you read that correctly, 375. Now, the next line is incredible, because it says like this: 375 days as opposed to the average of 280. This is almost a year and a half. Now I'm sitting there thinking, isn't the year 365 days? So a year plus 10 days is almost a year and a half. Don't know. Kasha. It was substantiated by a physician who first documented Kitzer.
That you can't listen to the whole thing.
Yeah, I know. That's why I put it there. Yeah, and it happened in 1994 and 1945. So who knows? Great, but Akopanim. Maybe this. Hello, today they wouldn't allow it. They wouldn't allow this today.
Where'd you get that from?
If a woman goes like a week over, they right away induce and this and that. Fine. What? It says 1.5 years. The lashon is years. Okay, that's what I meant. Right. This is almost a year and a half. You mean a pregnancy and a half? Pregnancy and a half, not a year and a half. I got it. Okay, that makes more sense. It's 3 months. No, but it's not. I made the cheshbon. You're wrong. It's 3 months more than 9 months. It's a third more. It's a very good. So what? Rabbi Toisva paskin like Rebbe, who's a yachid, that a woman could prolong the pregnancy by 3 months. Says the Gemara, Akiv and Reb Shimon Gamliel. I just threw in the chart here. Just if you look at it, you can see who's Reb Shimon Gamliel. Rabbi Isai, Rebbe's father. Reb Shimon Gamliel the Omar Mishnai. I'm just saying it's a little bit of a cheating because the son and the father say the same thing. So the Gemara says no. Reb Shimon Gamliel says it. Kirabim Avad. That's already halacha of a rabbim. The sign of Reb Shimon Gamliel Omer Kol Shalosh Leishim Yom Ba'adam Einoi Neifel. Okay, you see that Reb Shimon Gamliel is of the opinion there's a concept of shehiyah. Tanur Rabban. Let's try to go through this. It's very, very easy. Ezus Suris Chama. What are the simanim? Kol Shu Ben Esrim V'lo Yehevi Shtei Sarais. He didn't bring simanim. V'afilu Hevi La'achar Mikan. Even if he brings after 20 years old. Hareu Kesaris L'chol Dvarim. It doesn't count after 20 years. Velim Simanim. These are the simanim of a saris. Kol She'en Lo Zakon. He doesn't have a beard. Usa'aroi Lakui. And he has smooth hair, right? Is that the pshat? Upsari machlik, smooth skin. What's sari lakoi? What does it say in the art scroll? Anybody? Very what? No, that's the smooth like a woman is. Rashi says smooth like a woman on b'sari, on the skin. Rashi says that most men have hair, and but his actual hair is soft. On the yeah, right. Okay, good. Yeah, very thin. Okay. When he goes to the bathroom, the ktanim don't foam. So the only way I can understand that is based on his body. His body is not a healthy body. It doesn't produce the right urine or whatever. Doesn't make an arch that we had before in Amud Aleph. It's watery. They don't sour. Doesn't have steam. You see in players sometimes, and they get really the steam coming out. He doesn't have that. He has a voice that you can't differentiate between a man and a woman. And what the simanim? What are the simanim of an island? So it goes to 20. 2 sairos, and afterwards is nothing. Her upper body didn't develop. She has trouble during tashmish. Her stomach is not shaped. Her lower abdomen is not shaped like regular women. She has a thicker voice. It's not. You can't differentiate between each ish. Should we stop here? A couple of the other wants to go weiter. Itmar. Simon is Saris. Ravuna Amar Shiu Kulam. He holds you need all the simanim to be a Saris. Even one out of all of them. Says the Gemara Saris. So the Goin takes out the word Zakon here. If he brings 2 Saris, if there's already 2 Saris, then you need all the simanim. He didn't bring 2 Cyrus. So the Machlokes Rishon, if that alone is enough, the fact that he didn't bring 2 Cyrus. So Rabbi Bar Avua was Rav Nachman's Rebbe, and he says, I knew baby Rav Nachman. Rav Nachman didn't have simanim, it seems like. But what's interesting is Rav Nachman had children. So he said, I want you to check Rav Nachman out in the mikvah, Ibsar Mala Hevel. I'll let him marry my daughter. And in fact, in Shas, many times, I don't know how many I have to do a search, but over 50, maybe 100, maybe more, that it says, Omer Rav Nachman, Omer Rav Avua. Rav Nachman said in the name of Rav Avua. Rav Nachman was also married to the daughter of the Reish Golos, married to Yalta, married to different women. Kiman Kirav Huna. That one siman is enough. Rav Nachman sikeh dikna havele. So Rav Nachman, he had that you need all. You need all. Rav Nachman had a beard. He had a little bit. He had coming out of his beard. So Mela, that he had. Rashi says he had in different places. So Mela, that was enough to that together with the hevel, the steam coming out. That was enough for Rabbi Ravuna to be confident that he'll have children. Indeed, he did have children. Have a wonderful day.